All right. Of course. Yes. So, caster like myself want to be 3D animator, want to learn camera handling, want to learn edit, acting, not for any of this, then it's good news that your media college is possible. And broadcast journalism, media marketing, online media and radio, law and ethics, camera handling, editing. They are specialized in all these. So in case it is your desire to be in the media fraternity, then the one-stop area is Premium Media College. Of course, we have flexible mode of payment as well. And so probably you might not be financially stable like that. Of course, we have debts for you that you could be okay with it in your payment, and then you can be tutored as well. We will nurture you, like I always say, we will nurture you to become a future leader, to become a living legend when it comes to media, like other ones that you will be seeing, the Captain Smart, the Sifa kind that you will be seeing, including myself. What do you think? Of course, I will say, yes, if you desire to be any of these, yes, Premium Media College is the right place to be. Enroll now, pick up your forms, and then start the tuition. And then you know that yes, I recommended a very good place for you and learn something worth it. Today we have a lot of issues to discuss, and today our topics are going to be one or two things on Akuffo Addo, and then we'll be doing newspaper review as well. But before that, let me go for a commercial break. When I come back, we'll get into the stories and news. I'll be right back.
Baby, I will free. Said dear Omoye Omoniema, Kasa Omoka, Omundiania Omudi, any Amamre and Kasankasa, and Nessia Trama, and my 4 Amunsunyashe, a hand time jar, any Amaswo, a my Yesunya Bibia, Yato Yamamre Asylum, and Penny Focus send me say, Refu Cromi Abaya, Wajira a Jabase, and not in a premium TV coffer by, Yadi Jubedia on Waswa, Yatuni didn't say, Shrewa Mamre. wo dwumedie so ye kokro bia so ye bobro baby bia ewo ye bisa omoniema sade omoka omonsam efa sade omamamre ete ankasa ye wie ediaba studio ni abedwafo betena se atwetwe nkomo ade afa ho nya me de dwumedie ho kyia me ya me jesuwa ne efuwa jaboa jan meka kyerɛ amamra na wajesuwa ma me se amamra ho hia Premium TV shaping global true culture.
Welcome back from the commercial break, and it's still press right here on TV, of course, number one morning express show in the capital when it comes to news, when it comes to entertainment, including sports. If you want the best, and if you want current issues, current affairs, then it is Premium Express. Yes, like I told you, we're going to have our newspaper review, of course, we get to know what is happening in Ghana and of course beyond. And I have with me my usual guest, Francis Ejie is with me that will be getting into the newspaper review shortly. Francis.
Oh, Penny.
I hope all is well.
Oh, by God's grace, everything is well, sir. Yes, everything is well.
I mean, you're looking sweet.
And you are looking smart this morning. Yeah, I love your shirt, though. Your pink shirt and your gold and blue tie and your black shirt and your cappuccino watch.
I styled myself.
Yeah, you're looking great. You're looking great.
So yeah, quickly, what do we have? The news today. What is happening in Ghana? Take us through that.
We thank God for this grace that God has given us life again. And I want to start from the ABC newspaper on the side of the truth. That is their motto. And on the page 3, national security. ABC. Yes, on the page 3. National security breaks Chinese crime ring in Asankrega. And you can see that they have ammunitions, weapons that is used in our various directions of Galamsey sites in this area in Ghana. You see, yes, and then I move on to the tender. Admit Rasta students on the page 6. The tender admit Rasta. Yes, court orders Achimota School to admit the Rasta students, and it's a very nice idea that this thing we will talk of democracy. Okay, Kebimamin Kebina Ayajuma, free and fair trial for the Rastafarians. You understand that? And this is the case that the students have their liberty or the right to have the education, as the Constitution says, right to education, yes, right to be freedom. So it's very good. They went to the court, and the court has brought in their submission to power. Yeah, in that case, these people are there. On the same paper, Galamsey boys hijack gold mine. Galamsey boys hijack gold mines. On the pages of 2 and 3, dad buries 2-year-old son alive in central region. Wow.
That is another issue I want us to look at. I mean, what will make a father bury son alive, not even dead,
Alive.
What could possibly bring down this?
I would say the cost of living is high. Yes, because if it is no cost of living, do you think a father will bury a son alive? It could be.
It might not be a cost of living. Don't you think maybe disobedience or maybe
Vagabond or the vagabond act, insolent acts, yes.
Or probably for some rituals on the aspect of.
Oh yeah, it could be that also. You see, there are a lot of citations or factors that will be coming in, yes, to this kind of act that the father is trying to do. You see, it's very pathetic, though. It's very, very pathetic for a father to bury a son alive. Wow. He need to be arrested for infringing on human rights.
Once it's in the news,
Yes,
it's arrested.
yes. For infringing on human rights, seriously. Child labor. Okay. Now I continue with the daily guide or daily crusading, the new crusading guide, the new crusading Rasta Floor Achimota School, and they are in the school now. Enforce policies to stop child labor mining communities. Buache Dankwa to government. Buache Dankwa to government, and this you can find the story on page 3 and 10. And then Oyibi Manche cautions land encroachers that they should stop what they are doing, getting to the public domain. Some are encroaching on the streets, some are encroaching on the places where the light poles are, water directions, all these things. They are encroaching there. And so the Oyibi Manche has asked them to stop that thing. The Daily Dispatch also has brought in burning of excavators will not lead to judgment death. Burning of excavators will not lead to judgment death. Attorney General views. Story on page 12. The story is on page 12. Yes. And then Rwanda's dark side. I think history of Rwanda, where the Rwanda had a war with the Tutsis and Hutus. Yes, where they broke into it and then they were killing the Hutus like cockroaches. You understand? And this came out as a result of a journalist who went to a radio station and said the Hutus killed the president, the Tutsis. So you need to kill them like cockroaches. And they were killing the Hutus like cockroaches. Yes, so is the dark side. So we can find the story on page 8. Yes, the dark side of Rwanda. Rwanda's dark side is very serious. The war was very, very serious. Now, private universities too deserves free internet for e-learning. Ajin Asari to government. Private universities too deserve free internet for e-learning. Ajin Asari to government.
Why should it be private universities? Don't you think it should be all universities that needs this internet for e-learning? Because most of the times, most of our educations are on e-learning as well. Now we do teaching and learning.
But do you know that on the government schools they have
They don't.
UCC have free.
They don't. Please. They
UCC.
have it. They have it for their staff, not students.
Okay.
No university in Ghana has it. It was a plan by the government to initiate that, but not yet. So they don't.
Okay, but as Ajin Asari is saying, that means some governments have
No.
internet.
That is private universities. That is private universities planning to do that. So it is not yet in. Let's wait and see if it
Okay.
happens. Yeah.
So you can find this story on page 11. When 2 BBC journalists in Ghana were asked to report to the
Dreaded.
Gonda, Gonja Barracks. Gonja Barracks. Hey, wow. And that is Gonja Barracks. When two BBC journalists in Ghana were asked to report to the dreaded Gonja Barracks in 1989.
So let's do the Chronicle and then one more and then we go.
Okay, the Chronicle on page 3. Wife chases husband to death, but family police trade in accusation and counter accusation. Okay, that is on the page 3. National security swoops on the suspected Chinese drug peddlers. Now you can see the ammunition under the Chinese uh, things, or the Chinese
That is the images of the
images
ammunitions.
yes. Confused Rock Oil Marketing Company. DVLA to clamp down on beggar numbers plate. Yes, that is it.
Now let's do the daily statement, and then we are good to go.
Daily statement. The daily statement. BOG reduces policy rate to 13.5%.
That is Bank of Ghana.
Yes, on the page 6. You can find this on page. Now, dreadlocks are religious right. Court orders Achimota School to admit Rastafarian students. That is on page 2. 6 Chinese national face prosecution over Galamsey drugs and money laundering.
So, is that all for?
Yes, that is all for today, and that is what we.
All right. So, Francis, thank you very much for the newspaper, and let me go for a commercial break. When I come back, we'll get into the main topics for discussion. I'll be right back.
Baby, I will free. Said dear omoye omniema. Kasa omoka. Omunduane a omudi. Ene amamre ankasa ankasa. Ene suatrama. Mafo omunsunya hwe. Ahantan dwa ene amaswo. Ama yensunya bibia. Yato yamamre asayram. Mpanifo ka asemi se. Urefri ukrom he aben a. Wojira edwabo ase. Eno nti na Premium TV kofa buy. Yede dwumadi wanwaso a. Yato ne din se. Chirewa mamre. Wodwumadi so ye kokro bia so ye bobro baby bia ewo ye bisa omoniema sade omoka omonsam efa sade omamamre ete ankasa ankasa ye wie e dia ba studio ne abedwafo betena se atwetwe nkomo ede afa ho nya me de dwumadi ho kyia me din a me de soa ne efuwa jaboa Jan meka kyerɛ amamra na wagye so ama me se amamre ho hia Premium TV shaping global true culture.
Back from the commercial break. Of course, you're watching the Morning Express right here on Premium TV. Yes, we're getting straight into our topics for the day, and our first topic we're going to discuss is going to be Akuffo Addo. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, has been honored with a doctorate degree at the University of Cape Coast, and he made some speech. And before the speech, let's go and then watch the video as to how Akuffo Addo was honored, and then we get into more discussion on that. But before that, Francis.
Yes, sir.
Let's get this. I mean, Akuffo Addo being honored with a doctorate degree for introducing free SHS. It means free SHS is a good thing, and Ghanaians have accepted it.
Well, let me use the platform to greet your viewers who are watching us right now, and then my community, Pastor Enoch, who is watching me, and Joshua, who is watching me right now, and my mom also, and my senior brother, who is Germany, is watching me right now. Rafosu, I salute you. When the
All
doctorate.
right. So before you get into the main discussion, I want us to go watch the video as to how Akuffo Addo was honored. Let's go watch the video.
Governing Council of the University of Cape Coast, Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellor, members of Communication, the Registrar, Asabel Makusiaka II, Mahalo of the White Traditional Area, Ahuna Mugwe, Private Assembly 6, Paramount Chief of the Chief Traditional Area, and other traditional rulers, residents of Cape Coast, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. I'm privileged to be here with you today to receive an honorary doctorate degree from the University of Cape Coast and have the opportunity to make these remarks. By the award of the honorary doctor of philosophy honoris causa in educational leadership degree by the special congregation of the University of Cape Coast. This is the third such honor I have received from the university. The first being in May 2016, before I became president, when the celebrated Fort Hare University of South Africa, dubbed the cradle of African nationalism, which has been responsible for graduates such as Nelson Mandela, Julius Nyerere, Desmond Tutu, Oliver Tambo, Robert Mugabe, and Kenneth Kaunda.
The president was honored a doctorate degree for increasing free education. According to them, it's a good thing that has happened to Ghana. The president has brought a change in our education system. Therefore, he needs a doctorate degree. Francis?
Yes, sir. Okay, so as I was saying, it's a very good thing. It's a very good initiative that the president brought it. In this case, it was there since way back the time of Guggisberg, okay, and Nkrumah came in to implement this kind of free education in the northern sector of Ghana, where he could continue it from the northern to the southern sector, so that we could have.
It was Nkrumah who initiated that first free education.
That was what I'm
started
saying.
From the northern region.
Yes, that was what I'm saying. That it started from the northern region. Nkrumah brought it way back Guggisberg time. Okay, it was there, but Nkrumah initiated it in the northern sector and then tried to bring it to the southern sector, whereby the southern and the northern will be having free education. Okay, so with this, it's a point that he has really done well. But my problem is, if a president will be honored as a doctorate for bringing in a doctorate degree, for bringing in the free education to support our economy and to support our people in a country, let's ask ourselves, how many people are now saying, how many villages have even a school building? How many classrooms has desks to sit on? How many have teachers who are competent enough to go to the remote areas, that is the villages, to teach our children? How let me say, their allowances, are they being paid? Yes, are they being paid to them? Their money, their salaries, are they given to them on time? The areas that we cross river, do we have a canoe or a jet ski that will try to cross a river to the other side for them? A source of life? Or how are they living? Their accommodation, their well-being, how are they living? You understand what I mean? And we call it.
Most of our,
they don't have bungalows.
My children's school where you teach and my house. Excuse me. You have no right to even, train the child how you want
it to be,
you
yeah.
live in the father's house, you live in the mother's house.
Seriously, so it tried to bring an impression.
Even if the child is being stubborn, you cannot talk about it, because when it happens, you still come back home. They are not bangles.
You see, the free education, seriously.
So let me generalize this. Assessing free education, how do you say it?
Free education, fine. I would say they have implemented. It is okay, but the things that we need for implementation is not well adequated.
Things like what?
Like things like structures, school structures. Still, there are some people who are under a tree.
Yeah, of course.
They are under a tree learning. Some people don't have ICT labs. They have the structures, but they don't have ICT lab, and teachers will be drawing computer on a blackboard, and they'll ask the children on your desk, and they'll ask you to click, type, whatever. You see, we need to grow as.
I've had experience like that way back when I was in the junior high school.
Oh, sorry.
There was a community, not myself actually.
Okay.
There was a community library,
Mm-hmm.
so just about 30 to 40 minutes walk away from the school.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's ICT time, we walk from the school, go outside the school, about 40 minutes walk before we get to the community library. Before you walk and come back, ICT minutes is even over. Now we get there, and then a friend, a colleague, she's now working with the financial company.
Okay.
Yes. She's called Vida Evo.
Mm-hmm.
We got there and we were asked old mouse.
Okay.
Shockingly, she never heard them out.
Wow.
Right from Form 1 till around Form 2 first year.
Wow.
I left the school. She never
held the mouse.
Everybody will do it. She will sit at the back, all right. So normally I like sitting with her.
Oh, okay.
I take charge of them. But then I was learning this Excel drawing and stuff.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
When it comes like that, then means I have full access. She will just sit, hold the arms like this. We'll go back.
Wow.
Because I don't know.
You see,
it wasn't taught that way.
You see, the inscription is mouse, and the mouse, we have the animal mouse, and then the electronic mouse. You understand? Good. So the animal mouse click in the mindset of our students, and still they are afraid of holding it because they might see that the animal mouse can.
That is too bad.
But I really want to tell the government that the initiative that he did is very important for a country to grow up. But the adequate materials for the education is not right. You see, so we need people. If we had structures, the free education, students will not be complaining of the gold track system, the green track system, and whatever the rest track system, the double tracking system. If we had a good structures or adequate structures which can accommodate about 5,000 or 10,000 students, or not 10,000, 30,000 students who can also go into that education sector and then have a better education in their life. You understand? Some comes to stay home 3 months, and then some go home, some stay in school 3 months, and some come back 1 month, and some go 1 month. You see, it helps children, their brain to become dull, very dull. So they say, adreno eba form. Oh, ama amu adisuano krano den kakra. At the moment, matrons are not being paid. So they say food stuffs are not being supplied. So they say to the schools, boarding houses.
I think for that one, they are being supplied.
Fine.
Buffer stocks, they are really, really working. It's been a long time we've had issues on buffer stocks.
Buffer stocks, yes. But if they are working, We should see that they are working. Okay. What about the matrons? Their welfare. Are they paying them? What about the teachers who are staying in 3 months, in 6 months, whatever they are doing in the SHS? Are they paying them? Are they living well? You see, it's alleged that the Concerned Teachers Association will be going on strike on the either 2nd or 3rd of June.
It is alleged.
It is alleged. So yes, we are going to see what is right. You understand? So well, with the free education, I would say it is one of the best things that the MPP government have done. But with the things that will make it free, should be supplied all the time.
So it means the policy is not yet complete.
That is it. The policy is not yet complete.
If your policy is not yet complete, it means the execution of the policy is poor.
That is the
because if you want to implement free education, at the end of the day, you have no structures. The structures are not working.
Yeah.
The student structures are not working. The teacher structures are not working. Including Ghana Education Service, their structures are not working.
That is it.
Then how do you assess free education as
one of the best
exactly
in a country?
To have a doctorate degree in it.
Yes, so we need to work out things that will make the free education stand in and stand well. You see, I've been watching our sister Efia Vim Lady, who goes to villages to supply desks to the primary sector and also even the senior side. You understand? It's all about comporting and also coming in.
We have
Good.
responsibilities to also help.
Good. You see, when Akuffo was in power, he implemented that free education for the government schools, the primary side. So
policy that they were implementing.
No, that's what I'm saying. When Akuffo was in power, His Excellency, when he was in power, he implemented that free education for the primary sector. Okay, from primary to GHS. Okay, and what was the need or the take of the policy that came out? You could see that some plant or baobab tree, people under it learning. Some are sleeping on floor, okay, and they are writing. Some are squatting and they are writing. And that is the thing that hurts so much. Madhouse. And as a mad school, no mercy, no more the team. Rainy season, you could see that this madhouse collapsing on children, school buildings also collapsing up here and there in different dimensions and in different areas. You understand? So as a country, we need to have a structure, infrastructures.
The structures need to be
in place. Then infrastructures, abundant infrastructures, and adequate materials for learning. Good.
So thank you very much, Francis, for your submission. Now, during this same doctorate degree honoration, and then Akuffo Addo gave a speech, and according to the president, he's saying that there's no culture of silence in our country. Every Ghanaian is free to speak as the way he or she wants. There's no culture of silence. Before we go watch the video, Francis, do you think every Ghanaian is free to speak their mind as our president is saying?
Intimidation is one of the key that hurts Ghanaians so much. When we intimidate people, they try to keep their tongue or their voices down. For example, you sitting here and I just stand up and say, Nana Yeboa, o kasa mebo waso. Ubebusam sa adintia. The third one who say me buafu, until you will not talk again. Is that not so? Good. My brother, culture of silence is hurting our people in a country. That is intimidation. At the moment you speak out, You voice out. You see someone who is stronger than you comes in and say, Massa, if you fool, the way I'll beat you.
The president is saying that every Ghanaian is free to speak.
Good.
Now, some journal also on Joy FM said there was a discussion on free SHS. Now the government has threatened to shut down Joy FM because they are speaking against the free education. They are speaking against it. Now, if we have the right to speak, whether we speak against or for a policy, I mean, you have no right to shut our station down. But
I always ask myself,
is it not part of the culture of silence?
I always ask myself that right to information that the government, the bill that the government has signed and is in parliament and they want to access that for us. Has been passed already. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the essence of you giving us the right to information? As a media house, why do we have the right to information?
Means whenever any information from any agency in Ghana,
Good.
we go there, we need to be provided with it.
That's why we have an association. Okay, association. GJ, Ghana Journalist Association. This code of conduct need to apply in our system. And every media house have a code of conduct.
Is the organization working? Journalism Association, because we all know that it was very tough. It took some independent organizations to interfere. President get to this policy, amend this policy. Is our association really working?
Big question. I understand that. The association is working. But the power to give to them is not implemented. Because when they give them the power to speak, they will backlash the government. Okay? And even impose more forces on them.
All right, so Francis, before you continue, let's go and then watch the video as to how the president replied some journal.
President Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo has said Ghana has never returned to the era of culture of silence where the media and citizens fear to speak out on national issues. Speaking at the University of Cape Coast after receiving an honorary doctorate degree, Doctor of Philosophy and Educational Leadership.
Let me end by addressing a particular line of the current argument being made about the threat to rights and freedoms. I believe this has led to a new definition of a culture of silence. It goes along the line. That when people in government and all government policies are criticized, and there is a defense of the people of policies, it is intimidatory and leads to a culture of silence. A radio station is currently running a campaign against free SHS. During the last election, I got the clear impression free SHS had been endorsed by all political parties, and all we needed to do was to keep improving it. Would a spirited defense of the free SHS policy constitute an attack on press freedom? I wonder. It cannot be that everyone has a right of reply except members of the government and officialdom. Nor can it be that challenging an opinion expressed by a journalist constitutes an attack on press freedom. What I believe may be sorely lacking in our society today is the need to listen to each other more. Knowledge has never been a gift granted exclusively to one group. We must listen and hear each other more. And for me personally, I find it ironic that the presidency of a man who has been and continues to be daily the most vilified political figure of his generation can be accused of presiding over a culture of silence. There's no midnight knock on the door in Ghana for authors of dissenting views, nor will there be during my presidency. Indeed, one of the reasons assigned by the global social media platform Twitter for its decision to establish its operational headquarters in Africa in Ghana was that, and I quote, "Ghana is a supporter of free speech, online freedom, and the open internet," unquote. These qualities possessed by our nation also influenced the decision by the Federation of African Journalists to announce the holding of its annual conference in Ghana this year.
Akuffo Addo said the media, in particular, has remained free and one of spirited conversation and debate among politicians. We all remember the role that the Legon Observer.
And it is in that context, ladies and gentlemen, that I'd like to share with you my reflections on the challenges that can be an impediment to our country's progress if not addressed with urgency and determination. Let me make the observation that in a large measure, our attitude is informed by partisan reasons or fear of recrimination. Of course, we've all been witnesses to how political parties use the social media to unleash their attack dogs on critics. Our media landscape is so polarized and partisan. There is hardly any objectivity because a lot of the media stations are owned by politicians whose interest is in swaying voters one way or the other. Independent media practice seems to have faded, and journalism has become a conveyor belt for political propaganda, insults, and acrimony. What is the status of the role of the media in holding the executive, judiciary, the legislature accountable as the fourth estate of the realm? Is it enough to just report issues? Where are the investigations? Where are the facts? These are the hard questions that the media must ask and reassess its role in shaping our country's future. In the past, when all else had failed, academia was the last vanguard. We all remember the role that the Legon Observer played. Under the hallowed cloak of academic freedom, men and women of conscience could write and speak words that penetrated the halls of power. It appears to me that in recent times, in our fourth Republican dispensation, the courage to stand up for the truth and the determination to uphold the common good seems to be missing. In our dark moments, it is concerning that the voices of the intellectuals are receding into oblivion. Sadly, it is a consequence of deep partisan polarization of our country, said that everything is seen through the lenses of politics. It appears to me that the culture of silence.
That was President. Culture of silence in the country, and he was talking about see message wrongly. That matter, government in power has threatened to shut down the state. I mean, a whole brouhaha in the country. Therefore, people are saying there's culture of silence in the country. The president has come on to say, of course, there's no silence culture in the country. Every Ghanaian has the right. Francis, you heard the president talk.
Yes, I heard him saying that there is no culture of silence, and then the media has the right to speak. And if you know the article or the Constitution, chapter 12, article clause 1, it talks about right to freedom. Okay, right to speak. The way we need to speak, the way and manner we need to approach a communication. You understand? So one thing is, one, we need to know how to communicate to people, our intonation and our ways of communicating to people. That will make it a sensible, excuse my word, a sensible or not. You understand? A way to approach someone in certain issues will let us know whether it is bad or good. You understand? And then there is no culture of silence, because anytime that we try to speak, we are speaking in terms of insulting a government or try to criticize the government who is in power or whatever they will try to do. You understand? But in terms of promoting good developmental agenda to the country, it is not on the other side. You understand what I mean? So in this case, we need to try and then communicate very well with our own. That's why I was saying, our association with code of conduct, okay, to all journalists in the country, and then every media house had their own code of conduct to perform. And then as a journalist, you need to know where to go and then how to bring in your point, okay? As he was saying, Sam Jonah was saying, in terms of investigation, in terms of writing scripts, in terms of the story coming out, they all depend on what journalists. And then the government will lay out Facebook or social media docs to backlash the people who come out to say what this thing. You see, there are people who also work with social media, and then there are people who also put on.
We are on social media.
Yes, put stories on social media. So when you come out with a donation that social media docs coming in to insult somebody on its own page, that means you are trying to create an impression, an insulting impression with a donation that you just came in. You understand? So I will urge my leaders how to come in by their donation and then move on with what they are trying to do. And then same behind the what's but in a way, you need to apply what wisdom in all things. That's why the Bible says, ask for wisdom in Proverbs chapter 1 verse 7. Or say, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of what? Wisdom. And then knowledge is added onto it. So when you apply wisdom, you have the knowledge on or the concept about what you are going to say. So they say on a free education, Sam Jonah was in where he was putting in his all effort measures that the free education will be what implemented. And also when it came up, he was happy. Now what has turned again that he's talking against the free education, and even not even the free education, but he was rather talking of what? Culture of silence. You understand? And the president has come in and he said what in his term of office and as a tenure of office, culture of silence will not be part of his government. You understand? The culture of silence will not be part of his government because the article, the constitution gives us the power to speak, the power to control, and then the power to what? Do everything that we want to do. The fourth arm of what? Government. Yes, as a journalist.
All right. So I believe that is Francis' submission, culture of silence. What about you at home watching? Do you think Honorary Ghanaian be speak the mind? But several incidents, both security service, both with personal interference, both with political interference, and a whole lot. What about you at home watching us right now? What do you think? Honorary Ghanaian is going to speak the mind, or indeed there's culture of silence in the country? Now, moving on to our last topic, is going to be Akuffo Addo, the president. I mean, he's been in the news since last week, since last 2 weeks. And here comes again, there was an alleged complaint that he abandoned the presidential flight or presidential jet to hire 50,000 euros per hour jet for his duties across the world. And this is what Ghanaians are asking, that you have a presidential jet, why go high another one again? Still on the fact that you are living a luxurious life with Ghanaian tax, or what are you doing with the honorary Ghanaian tax? This is what some Ghanaians were asking. But before that, let's go and then watch the video as to how let's go watch our presidential jet first of all, and then watch the comment some people make afterwards.
001, bonjour, Addo.
Zero 001, behind landing Airbus 320, line up on right, runway 23, behind. Zero 001, wind 27 degrees 6 knots, runway 23, cleared for takeoff. Zero 001, contact departure, 119.525, goodbye.
192.
All right, so that was the presidential jet. I mean, you could all see that clearly there's nothing wrong with our presidential jet. Now, the question is, why would the president then go have 15,000 per hour, another jet to go around? And we all know our president that whenever he goes outside the country, it is 3 days, 4 days, including a week tour that he goes. Now, calculating 15,000 per hour to a week, you could imagine the amount of money they are spending on private jet only. Now, let's go watch a video as to what someone said about this whole presidential jet. Let's go.
Nevertheless, I appreciate the government in power, Nana Akuffo Addo and his presidency. In fact, I really appreciate Nana Akuffo Addo because so far he is the best president who has impacted in the individual lives of Ghanaians. Whether you are opposition or you are whatever, this government's performance has affected you. Why? To run free secondary education is very expensive. And today, you can find out that every family, at least in Ghana, has been touched. I don't have children in SHS education. I don't have any child in it. But at least my sister, my brother somewhere, my cousin somewhere, somebody somewhere related to me will have that impact also. You see, somebody somewhere will relate to me that has that benefit. So I've also benefited. Because look at people going to secondary school. They were to pay at least about 1,000 and over per term. So every year, calculate and see, 1,000 per term. Every year is going to be more than 4,000 to 5,000. Forget of the other things. So this government has done so well. Nkrumah even couldn't do that. Nkrumah gave the northern part of the country to go for education free, but the southern part they were paying. And the north even was free because Britain asked for that to happen. the Queen said that they wanted the education to take place. But I was shocked to hear, yes, I know of the president's private jet that had problems, so they can't use it. Fine. But I didn't understand why the president and his team had appointment in Europe and they have to charter a luxurious jet. I don't know how far true it is. The information I got was that the jet was charging 1 hour $17,000, and this jet was used for 20 and over days. That's serious. Even if it is $10,000, I don't think we should do that. I don't think. Because you see, if we don't do sacrifices, Africans will go nowhere. We will go nowhere. We need to do sacrifices. Even if we are going to negotiate for a deal that will give us $1 billion, it doesn't mean we should waste money and go and get that. No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Because when I checked $17,000 and I checked how much boreholes it can make in some villages, 20,000 cities, I realized that we can make over 450 boreholes. And people don't have water. They don't have water. There are villages that have to walk 5 miles to go and scoop water that animals pass through in and drink. And they are Ghanaians, they are citizens. They have every right to drink clean water, but they don't have it. So let's look at if we spend such amount. That's why I said, even if it is 10,000 per hour, it's so much. Even the president doesn't need the entourage that follows him. He doesn't need them. Look, Britain, we go to beg Britain for money. You see the prime minister moving, only one car is behind security. Finish. Recently, I met the president come back, more than 20 cars. And we were supposed to park. But what is all this? Nevertheless, I appreciate the government in power, Nana Akuffo Addo and his presidency. In fact, I really appreciate Nana Akuffo Addo because so far he is the best president who has impacted in the individual lives of Ghanaians. Whether you are opposition or you are whatever, this government's performance has affected you. Why? To run free secondary education is very expensive. And today, you can find out that every family, at least in Ghana, has been touched. I don't have children in SHS education. I don't have any child in it. But at least my sister, my brother somewhere, my cousin somewhere, somebody somewhere related to me will have that impact also. You see, somebody somewhere will relate to me that has that benefit. So I've also benefited. Because look at people going to secondary school. They were to pay at least about 1,000 and over per term. So every year, calculate and see, 1,000 per term every year is going to be more than 4,000 to 5,000. Forget of the other things. So this government has done so well. Nkrumah even couldn't do that. Nkrumah gave the northern part of the country to go for education free, but the southern part they were paying. And the north even was free because Britain asked for that to happen. The Queen said that they wanted the education to take place. But I was shocked to hear, yes, I know of the president's private jet that had problems, so they can't use it. Fine. But I didn't understand why the president and his team had appointment in Europe and they have to charter a luxurious jet. I don't know how far true it is. The information I got was that the jet was charging 1 hour $17,000, and this jet was used for 20 and over days. That's serious. Even if it is $10,000, I don't think we should do that. I don't think. Because you see, if we don't do sacrifices, Africans will go nowhere. We will go nowhere. We need to do sacrifices. Even if we are going to negotiate for a deal that will give us $1 billion, it doesn't mean we should waste money and go and get that. No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Because when I checked $17,000 and I checked how much boreholes it can make in some villages, 20,000 cities, I realized that we can make over 450 boreholes. And people don't have water. They don't have water. There are villages that have to walk 5 miles to go and scoop water that animals pass through in and drink. And they are Ghanaians, they are citizens. They have every right to drink clean water, but they don't have it. So let's look at if we spend such amount. That's why I said, even if it is 10,000 per hour, it's so much. Even the president doesn't need an entourage that follows him. He doesn't need them. Look, Britain, we go to beg Britain for money. You see the prime minister moving, only one car is behind security. Finish. Recently, I met the president come back, more than 20 cars. And we were supposed to park. But what is all this? Nevertheless, I appreciate the government in power, Nana Akuffo Addo and his presidency. In fact, I really appreciate Nana Akuffo Addo because so far he is the best president who has impacted in the individual lives of Ghanaians. Whether you are opposition or you are whatever, this government's performance has affected you. Why? To run free secondary education is very expensive. And today...
All right, so that was one citizen who decided to speak their mind on the president's private jet. It is bad. It is bad. But, well, we are all Ghanaians and we live to see the next 4 years. I mean, we need people accountable in this country. Yes, because looking at this presidential jet, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Why then you go in for a private jet? And look at the amount involved. Francis, let me give you 2 minutes, and then our time is fast spent. 2 minutes.
With the 2 minutes, I'll say, Ghana. We excuse my language or excuse my word. In fact, our leaders lack way. Okay. The lack of wisdom, my people perish.
That's right.
That is what the Bible is. The lack of forward perish. You are a senior citizen in a country, more or less a head of state. When you are going out, you go with your convoy.
Yeah, that's right.
Secretary of the state, the wife secretary, your bodyguards. Okay, when you are going, when you are traveling, your information minister comes with you. Imagine all these things. You are paying 15,000.
Not always. Not always that the information minister is with the president.
Fine.
He goes with the secretary.
Whether secretary, the wife too is there.
Not always that the wife is part of him anyway.
Fine. If the wife is not part, the secretary, the escort,
the president,
the
the
convoy,
secretary, and the staff, presidential staffers.
Presidential staffers.
Yeah.
Almost only one.
We have presidential staffers. They coordinate the affairs of the presidency.
The secretary, the bodyguards, and then all the presidential staffers paying you 15,000 euro per hour. Per head.
According to sources, it's about 23 hours, almost a day, 24 hours journey that he rented jet for?
Is it for them or more and up
It's a rented jet. So whether they are 3, whether they are 4, it's
whether
still
they are 6,
15,000 per hour. Yeah.
Only himself 15,000 per hour, 23 hours now. You can boom.
It's a huge sum of money.
It's me setting up a whole village.
There's a story I'll be following. There's a story I'll be following very soon on K2 South about the sea wave, and it has also become a very big story. Yesterday I had a call from there that there's a small village at K2 South. It's an ever name. I'll get that and I'll get video. I mean, the whole place is being flooded, and for the past 2 weeks, not even a NADMO coordinator has been there. For the past 2 weeks, not even a NADMO coordinator has been there. I would have to follow the story and know what happens there.
Have this man that can also restructure a whole village. Okay? Restructure a whole village. Give them water, give them portable school buildings, give them portable state housings to stay, livelihood. One near their core, a jet near the core. My Ghana. What are they going to use it for? Ghana, in fact, Ghana. If we don't turn the bad ways, if we don't turn away from the bad ways, move on.
I mean, look at this presidential jet. There's nothing wrong with, absolutely nothing wrong with it.
We go to church, we pray.
Francis, don't you think that the president, you know, he's Addo guy, so sometimes he wants variety, you know.
It is too much, not
Maybe he wants variety, because according to these jets, there's nothing wrong with it.
Going, which can take the convoys of the president. And your bonny be. I think a accident. It was one February.
That is not the reason, but there was an information. The minister of information came out to say that yes, the president nearly involved in an accident.
Nearly. It did not just say mechanic fault. Pilot
as to more details we didn't know, but it could be any fault.
But the pilot who is driving the plane, on one kasana efita say ewo mu a ye wo auto pilot a plane ankasa kra no hange ewiem ko si say mechanical fault na ewo mu no yetimi aye awie and san ya sanzo ye auto pilot ye dia ba plane we aye den. Why do we waste money? Our villages need water, our villages need school. And so e dia ko school wo ba bi o e kwan bi so. Can you cry see and so on so cry any but we wasted 15,000. 15,000. Massa. And I'm kind of lack of knowledge. My people would perish.
Thank you very much. Like I always say,
you have the right to decide the next 4 years. I mean, you voted for him, you didn't vote for him. At the end of the day, he's still our president. Now, the next time, we vote wisely. As to if we would want this, fine. As to if we would want change, fine. Because one thing I want us to know is that let's not be politically influenced for the fact that I am a party member, sorry, or I am affiliated to a party, so therefore, whatever happens is good. Look, this renting a jet 15,000 per hour whilst there are villages. As we speak now, in case you don't know, there are villages in Ghana that still don't have electricity. They don't have access to electricity, common basic need of a Ghanaian. They don't have it. And this money would even further things, further stuffs. You know, there are villages, there are rural areas that has no access to potable drinking water. And this amount of money could even generate some boreholes or mechanized way of them getting a purified water to drink. But this is how our money is being spent. Don't forget, like I told you, don't be politically influenced, because at the end of the day, it is your brother, your sister who stands under this scorching sun, sells pure water. The little money he earns, she earns out of it. That is where the tax comes out of. You think you are not paying tax directly, but we have VAT. So once you buy food to eat, you are paying tax. Once you buy water to drink, you are paying tax. And it is your tax that you are paying that is being used this way. Think wisely and choose wisely.
Before you go, our senior man, Saforo, Safo, who works in Premium TV, our sports head. Safo, happy birthday, and more grace to you. May God richly bless you so much for you attaining your age this year. God richly bless you, Safo. God bless you.
All right, so here comes mine as well. Safo, let me see.
A happy birthday to you. Let me say a very good happy birthday to you, wherever you are now. I believe the good Lord will be with you. May the good Lord enlarge your coast and then bless you with long life and then more money. But before that,
where is the party? Because I can tell us there's nothing happening, because we are ready and we will come, and then of course, our usual thing. So Solomon Safo, happy birthday to you yourself. And then
this one is from Akwasi Hollywood, and it goes, happy birthday to Jennifer Akosua Yeboah Ashite. Jennifer Akosua Yeboah Ashite at Pokuase. Yes, it says, God bless your new age with wisdom, blessing, strength, and much love. And so, Jennifer Akosua Yeboah Ashite, happy birthday to you from Akwasi Hollywood. Before I go, let me go and then read some comments from our viewers. And then we get into discussion as to how the whole thing is going. So let me go and then read one or two comments. Okay, so I'm sorry if I am not able to read your comments. I believe I'll do it some other time. So don't forget to be with us and also share your views on our platform as well. Don't forget to like our page. It's Premium TV Ghana. Facebook, Premium TV Ghana. On YouTube, it is Premium TV Ghana as well. This is where time will permit us to do. Let me say a very big thank you to the whole queue, the production team, Eunice, Obecha, and then Akwasi Hollywood, and then the director himself, Mr. Kizili Tete, of course, and everybody who supported with production. God willing, tomorrow will come your way with Morning Express. Goodbye.